Greetings viewers, this is Montomatic coming at you with another review video. Today we'll be reviewing the Real Grade 144 scale Strike Freedom Gundam. Normally I'm not a big fan of real grade kits only because I'm not too much of a fan of the small figures. I find that there are many small pieces that can be easily missed or misplaced in any case. And I much prefer master grades or even perfect grades for that matter. But I've been hearing so much about real grades, of how detailed they look, of how posable they are, and some of them could have been better than master grades, which to me was actually quite surprising. So I decided to pick this one up because I actually had a master grade Strike Freedom Gundam. I sold it actually because when I was putting it together, there was one piece in one of the dragoons, or the wings, so to speak, and for some reason it just couldn't click. It just would not snap together, even though nothing was broken. I just, for some reason, could not put it together. So I decided to just sell it and go with a cheaper real grade. And that's one thing I do like about real grades. They are pretty cheap, but I will say they're not really for beginners just because of how detailed they are and how intricate the build can be. But to continue on, let's start by reviewing the box. Now, most of the real grades boxes are the same. They have the head of the Gundam on the left, or the mobile suit, depending on which kit you get, and of course, a full stance on the right. All real grades have this set of display on the front of the box. But that's for the front. As for the sides, see here, and the one thing I do like about real grades is that they have a really good skeletal system. They actually ask you to build the inner frame first, and then they just put on the armor pieces as shown here. Now to me, this is adjacent to that of a perfect grade. Perfect grade really starts with a skeletal system, and then you just add the armor pieces as you go along. And the fact they try to copy that with a smaller version of a kit, I must admit, I was kind of surprised at first because, as I stated before, sometimes small pieces can be missing if you're not too careful. Luckily, that has yet to happen, knock on wood, and I'm hoping it will never happen. But to continue on with here, it shows here the dragoons or the wings. The dragoons can be detached as shown. And of course, for the rifles, can be you can either have it separate or combine them to have a one long rifle. And of course, it shows here on the waistskirt, the way how you position the size, you move them to the back so you can put the rifles on each side of it. And I will show you later in a figure review. And of course, how you display the scud rifles, like so, and the shield. And you can see here it has a nice little stack of all the runners you have. And the fact that these runners tend to be a lot more than that of a master grade really says something about these kind of kits. And the side, the same as the front. More display poses. And look here, actually has a solid gold chrome-like for a runner. I want to say these are for the dragoons, like so. Shows here a nice little skull for the head, the canopy where the pilot goes, Kira Yamato, for this mobile suit. Some posability, finger manipulators, like so. And this kit can go for 3,000 yen or $30 US dollars, so very cheap, very nice. And that's it for the box. The menu is actually pretty simple. Again, for the side, for the, I don't say side effect, but really the downside, there we go, that's what I meant to say. The downside is that there are many small pieces for real grades. So to show you, there is the skeletal system, as I mentioned. And over here, we actually have runners A, B, C, all the way through H. So not too many runners, which is quite understanding for a real grade. But you can see here there are many tiny pieces just in this runner. And there are several over here in runner C. So just gotta be careful. And it gives all the standard, start with the legs, which normally the legs tend to be the most complicated part of any gunpla kit. But this one seems pretty simple. And the one thing I like about the real grade kits is that the leg is actually come in one solid piece, whereas normally in master grades and perfect grades, you have so many pieces that connect to making the leg. But they actually give you a skeletal system for the leg, and you just add the attachments as shown here. So very nice about that. Just again from the waist, torso, to the arms. And the arms themselves are actually a skeletal piece themselves. So not too many pieces that go with the arm. You saw with the bones, so to speak, and just add the armor pieces as shown. And talks more specs about the kit, the railguns that's on the side. The rifle, and of course the attachment that can put them together to make a one long rifle. The shield and the dragoons. Dragoons over here. All connected, weapons, and of course it shows here the hand manipulators. You can actually create hands that are just the thumb, the index finger, and the middle ring and pinky all in one joint. And just more extra stuff, extra accessories on how you pose this kit. And lastly, you have the specs, the diagram that can show you where all the decals go, along with a color spreadsheet. You have some white, like off-white over here. It's kind of hard to tell. Get a closer look, but there is actually a slight difference in color. It's actually like a very, very light gray. Black, red, simple like a yellow gold color. Can't really tell from these characters. And a small figurine of Kira Yamato. And that's enough for the manual. Now onto the kit. And here we have real grade 144 scale Strike Freedom Gundam. And I just want to start by saying that the reason why I put it on a 144 action base is because I tried to balance it on the turntable and it just would not stand at all. It was actually kind of top heavy, which is unfortunately a con due to the wings or dragoons. So that's why it's on an action base, which is pretty cool by me, just because I was going to place on an action base anyway. I was kind of just hoping that we can balance on its own. But that aside, I do want to say that I really do like how this kit looks. I am a little bit bummed that the gold yellow plastic that's used for the skeletal system, I kind of wish it was chrome just like how it was for the dragoons. But it's actually a good thing, just because if it was chrome like that, if it was golden like that, then of course the price would be a little bit higher. But at the same time though, it gives the imagination of to just spray paint, which I have considered to do that for this kit. I just haven't done so just because I just want to see how it looks, and I will admit that the gold by itself does look a little bit bland, if you ask me. The one thing I wasn't too much of a fan of is that, so all these kits do come with stickers, and sometimes I'm okay with them, sometimes I'm not. In this case, they actually come with gold stickers that can put in the elbow joint of the kit, and I was kind of startled by that, just because why would you have just a sticker to do that? I mean, there's no point in having that if you're just going to show that piece at all. And they have some stickers for the dragoons as well, but that one actually kind of makes sense because there was gold inside the dragoons. So right here you actually see a gold sticker on each side, and part of me just felt like there was no point to even add that. But that's just me being nitpicky. Nothing I wanted to add is that aside from the bland gold looking skeletal system, I will add that the rest of the colors do work well together, just like how it was in the show and Gundam Seed Destiny, and then of course, well, Gundam Seed, the original show, original anime, just had the Freedom Gundam, but the color-wise, or at least the proportion-wise, is similar to that of the Strike Freedom Gundam. So Strike Freedom Gundam is just an advancement of the Freedom Gundam, particularly, really. But that aside, it's just that the colors do work well with this. It really does speak out, not just the way how all the colors work together, but just how accurate it was as it is in the show. That aside, this is quite proportional. Everything just looks very sleek, very slim, just how the build is for the Strike Freedom. And of course, the Dragoons of the wings, of course, are just as big, if not bigger, than the entire Gundam, which is, of course, it is to be expected. It's similar to that of the Wing Gundam, or even Wing Zero, from the anime that first came to the rest is Gundam Wing. Very popular show, I do recommend that. And also recommend Gundam Seed. I prefer Gundam Seed over Gundam Seed Destiny, personally, but I say it's worth watching both of those shows. To give you all a closer look as to how I actually got this to stand on the display stand, is actually there's a connection piece right here that actually comes with a kit. All you gotta do is just, not take off the leg. That's really stuck in there, huh? Usually it just slides right off, but this is actually, might be stuck. Okay, give me 1 minute. Sorry about that, it's just, this was really stuck in there. But really just that you just clip it on. I'll just set that to the side for right now. I want to show you the postability and articulation of this kit. So once you have everything together, the head can actually go all around. It can go 360 degrees, just on a ball joint. And the arms, if you just move the wings just slightly, you can actually get some good motion with it as well. The shoulders, it can go in and out like so. And you got to be careful with the shoulders because they can come off. But normally, the arm can go all the way. It's just on the ball joint. Like so. And fully extend the elbow. And that's almost 180 degree bend. The hand can actually go all around with all the other manipulators, which I will show in a minute. And right here is the cockpit, and it can open like so. And however, for the rail grades, they don't really have pilots. They just have standalone pilots. And as for the legs, you can go all the way up. Nice bend all the way as well. Just be very careful because just bending this knee just now, I can feel just how tight it is, which in a way is a good thing, but at the same time, if you add too much pressure, it could break. So just be careful. But I do like that bend nonetheless. The foot can go all the way around. The heel bend like so, up and down. The wrist can go all the way, just ever so slightly, actually. You gotta be careful because the railguns are actually attached to the torso, they're not attached to the waist. So just be very careful that they're in the way like that. And the Dragoons, you have a few actual points of articulation here. I'm going to show you on one side, so you can go all the way like so, a little bit forward, all the way around. Try not to have any pieces fall off. These can go around as well. You can extend the Dragoons like so. And again, pieces are falling off. But luckily they easily snap back on. And just put that piece back. There we go. And these drivers can actually extend like so. You can actually remove them. How I was going to show these will come off and actually be used as extra projectiles or extra like lasers to fire against enemies. And you just snap that back on. If I can. There we go. And one more thing I want to show you all is that you can actually move the railguns to the back. So you can attach the rifles to the side. So I'm just going to maneuver this like so I can show you all. So all you gotta do is move these to the back. Make sure these back skirts are just lowered just slightly. Move these to the back. And you can actually extend these pieces that are folded in like so. And you grab the rifles and you just snap it to the sides like so. And that's how you attach it. I want to take the time to show you all the accessories that come with the kit. So as shown earlier, here are the beam rifles. Here's the left one and here's the right one. Very simple design, very sleek how it was, very accurate. And these can actually combine into the long beam rifle. So all you gotta do is just maneuver one like so. And this is the right one, by the way. It only does certain ways. And you extend this out just slightly. And you push this one in. Like it was extended, you just push it in. And extend this one out. Like so. Move that to the side. You also get the beam shield. So there's an add-on to the shield, and in order to install this, just take the kit, and it doesn't matter which arm, it fits to both. You take the red piece off of the forearm. And I'm okay with taking that off because I gotta show something anyway. Place this like so. And then you just attach this back on. There we go. And that's how you attach the shield. Now next are the beam sabers. And the only beam saber handles that you have are actually the ones that are attached to the waist. So luckily for me, one of them actually came off. Set that to the side. And all I gotta do is just place this in here. Different beam saber. Now there's only one, actually two items can actually fit here. This kit comes with a few manipulators, or a few hands really. So aside from the open hand ones that sell in this kit right now, you can just easily remove them. And you have a closed fist. However, for this example for the beam sabers, you have to get one that is a somewhat open closed fist with a hole inside it, like so. Plug that in, and you just need to detach half of the hand, just slightly like so. Put the seam, get the beam saber, put the peg inside the hole, like so. And just place the extra half of the hand back on. And this kit is just falling apart. Always on video, right? There you have that. Now, as for the beam rifle, it's the exact same thing. However, it might be best to actually use the manipulators. This is the one I was talking about earlier, that the thumb can be independently moved along with the index, and you just have the middle ring and pinky on one swivel, like so. So it might be best to just take them and place them like so on the gun. If they hold still, but that aside, just grab the enclosed ones with a hole in them, the hands I mean. Place them like so. Close them up. You can hold it like so. The last weapon I want to show all of you is the railgun on the sides. So this is actually pretty simple. All you gotta do is extend them like so. Move the arm slightly. And this was all the way out. You just need to extend this, like so, and the railguns are set. And once you have all the weapons out, you can have the Strike Freedom gun in a full burst mode, how it was as it was in the show. The only thing that would make this even better is, of course, if you were to paint the inner frame to a much brighter, semi-gloss at the very least gold, so this can shine a lot brighter. But that aside, I will admit the effect is still there, so I'm very happy the way how this turned out in terms of postability. And now to do some side-by-side comparisons, here's the real grade Strike Freedom with the real grade Senanju. And I'm just going to hold it just because it's a little bit top heavy. As you can tell, the real grade Senanju is actually just a little bit bigger than that of Strike Freedom. And here's the with the higher master model Terrorist Bomber. And surprisingly enough, they're roughly the same height. Maybe just a hair taller due to the Strike Freedom's V-fin. And here he is beside the Master Grade Shin Musta Gundam. And as you can tell, just because the Shin Musta Gundam is a 1/100 scale, definitely is a lot bigger than the 1/144 scale Strike Freedom. Oh, and just to clarify, I meant Shin Musha Gundam, not Shin Musta Gundam. Sorry for that correction. And now to discuss the pros and cons of this kit. The pros, for starters, are actually quite a few. The colors, like I mentioned before, do work well with each other, but then again, they are the standard colors for any main Gundam, I would say. In many cases of any big stream Gundams out there, like Gundam Wing, Gundam Sea Destiny, they have the standard red, white, blue, a little bit of black. So those colors do pop out in this kit, but at the same time, they do work together. They work well together. Same thing in terms of proportion, very sleek. It all works well with the body. I don't really believe that the head sculpt or the shoulders or even the legs are a little bit bigger than what they need to be for the kit or for the body for that matter. Everything works well. Postability, there is a lot of postability, definitely in many actions. Poses you can put this in, so that is another plus as well. The skeletal system, very sleek as it was shown on the box and even in the manual. And of course, that option of painting the skeletal system entirely as a solid gold color really brings out the imagination for this kit. So another plus there. Now the cons. Now a big con that has been shown a few times in this video is that pieces do fall off. And it's quite aggravating, like it is to be expected because it is a model kit. Some pieces just don't like to stay on. but the fact that the same pieces fall off over and over again, and other pieces tend to fall off too, especially when you try to pose it, can be a little bit frustrating. And I've had that frustration a few times in the filming of this video. Now, posability wise, kind of goes with the pieces falling off. Like, yeah, the posability is nice, however, it's not as easy to pose it. So that's another aggravation right there, is that it's not so easy to pose because some pieces do fall off. Now, with all that said and done, is this a kit worth collecting to add to your collection? Honestly, I would say yes, for a few reasons. One, it is one of the mainstream Gundams in Gundam Seed Destiny, or the Gundam Seed, the franchise as a whole. Secondly, it does look sleek. It is a very good addition to your collection. I do recommend that. And also, a real grade is definitely mirror that of most master grades. Is actually, some real grades are better than master grades. So I would say, for all intents and purposes, and the one thing that does make this kit do stand out, it's not just the kit itself, it's the price. You know, $30, which is very cheap for a Gunpla model kit, and the fact that it's $30 actually is pretty good compared to other master grades that are a little bit high demand. And in case you don't want to purchase price your kit, then the real grades are the direction you want to go to. I would not say real grades are for beginners per se. I would say high grades are a little bit better in terms of that, if in case you want to get into Gunpla, but the real grades would be a good step up. And with all that said and done, I would just like to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Again, even though this kit can be a little bit heady to pose, it was very fun to build from what I remember. And I do enjoy it all in all. And if you haven't done so, please hit that like button. Share this video to all who you believe will like this kind of video. Make a comment down below, so in case you have anything that you want to comment on, whether it be this kit or something for the channel, please, I'll be happy to read them. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. There'll be more videos to come, I assure you that. Until next time, keep on building.